open with a word of prayer.
Okay, let us pray. Heavenly Father, we want to thank you. Bless your name for this time once again you have given us. Thank you for your faithfulness. Thank you, dear Father, for allowing us, oh God, to have this other time, O King of all glory. Dear Father, you have been with us since last time we met together, O King of all glory, and we are looking forward, O King of all glory. The Lord, you will lead us, you will guide us, you will be with us, O dear Father, from now as we start till the end of this lesson, this session. Lord, we thank you. May you be with us all through, O King of all glory. We give you glory, we give you honor. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
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 Amen. Okay, so we are now on lesson 11 on page 60. On page 60. So this lesson is a bit long, so we'll see how to manage it, and at the same time to keep the session as interactive as possible. I can see Eda is on board. How are you, Eda? Okay, okay. Eda, you're well?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, Team Yellow. That was Team Yellow.
Yes.
Okay, karibu sana.
Thank you.
Yeah, Lillian, how are you?
I'm good.
We missed you on Saturday.
I know I missed you two people. I know I missed a lot.
Yeah, it was quite good.
Yeah, and thank you for the book. I appreciate.
Karibu sana. Yeah, so maybe Mr. Mwangi can just share in a minute or so how the experience was, just
Yes.
to bring Lillian on board.
Okay. Good evening, all.
Good evening.
Yeah, at least I was glad to have attended the session on Saturday. It was quite a good encounter, having to meet with people we had not previously met. We could only meet each other on the screens, but that day was a one-on-one meeting. The day was quite good, only that we had challenges of time. I believe most of us did not make it in good time. And therefore, maybe what we covered would have covered more than that, but that was just a beginning. And we believe that we shall be able to cover more. The sharing was quite interesting, meeting people with a wide knowledge of what we are doing. And I'm glad that I met people who are well informed in this program that we are doing. And we would wish that we have another opportunity to meet again and maybe to interact beyond what we had on Saturday. To some of us, it was just a beginning. It was an eye-opener. And I believe we'll look forward to getting more and more interactions outside this forum of the online so that we will be able to share one-on-one. Otherwise, I'm glad I met Eda, whom we had met in the on the screen all through, but it was a good meet. We'll continue to share. Otherwise, those who did not make it, maybe you'll have another opportunity that once the chairman makes an arrangement, we'll all be there. Otherwise, it was a good day. We enjoyed it. And thank you for given us that opportunity to interact with the team, even the older, those in other cohorts, at least the ones who started this program, a number of them were there. And it was quite interesting to have shared with them. Otherwise, thank you. We'll continue to share.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mwangi. There was a suggestion that next time we should be, we should have a sleepover.
Yes.
So that we can have some bonfire at night.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think those comments were well noted. So as the planning committee starts to plan for the next one,
yeah,
see how to enrich the event.
It is true. It is true.
Yeah, otherwise, even as we were really happy just to mingle and learn. It was a mingling experience and learning. I can remember the balloon experience and so many other experiences. That was really fun. Now, so we just want to move on. Today we are moving on to a very special topic, the power of vision in leadership. And maybe we can do a recap of what Pastor Oscar, Reverend Oscar, talked about on this area of vision casting. He mentioned a few issues which probably will need to also reflect on as we go through this topic. So I'll request if anybody captured whatever Reverend Oscar discussed, or you can remember, you can just mention, then we'll be able to, all of us be on the same page. And then we'll bank on that as we continue. So feel free, if you captured and you're ready, just unmute and share.
For me, I thought of what he talked about, Proverbs 29:18, without vision, people perish. And also how to get a vision is by looking and also listening, and listening what, I mean, when we look, it helps us to see the gap and we are able to work out. So we have to see with the open eyes, and also we have to be keen when observing. So I think some of the things that I got, because the moment you have the vision, vision must be clear.
Yeah.
You have to know more about that vision, because it's supposed to be clear, and also you have to explain. It has to be like fingertips.
Yeah.
Also, we have vision comparing that allows us even at night. Because that vision, it is already in us, and also it should be constructive and effective in the community and also in society. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Eda. Anybody else who can add something what Eda has mentioned?
Yeah, she has mentioned one of the two of the three items that he mentioned. That is the vision being clear, being compelling, being constructive, and then describe the vision. Once once you have the vision, it's clear in your mind, then you need to describe it. By describing means you write it down so that it can come out clearly. Then you inscribe it. Inscribing means you consume so that it becomes part of you. It has to flow within you, so that even when you are selling it to other peer, to the other followers, it will be something that you already appreciate within yourself. Then there is the issue of prescribing the vision. Prescribing, he gave us an example of a doctor. When a doctor is giving a prescription for you to go and buy medicine, it is the same thing that you do with the vision. You prescribe it so that everybody understands what you want to get out of that vision. And then there is the issue of subscribing. Subscribing is like becoming part and parcel of that product that you are selling out there. He gave us an example of Safaricom. You become a subscriber to Safaricom when you are transacting money through M-Pesa, buying airtime, and those kind of things. So those are the three basic items that he gave us about the vision.
Yeah, true. So I think that's a good summary from Mwangi and also from Eda. So let's commit that to memory as we go through this lesson. Yeah, so our vision in leadership, and I'll start with a very simple illustration. You can see that image on your screen. Yeah, there is a rat, there is a container, and there's some grains. One word on that picture, any prediction of what might be happening, or what will happen next after this picture? If another picture comes, how will the other picture look like? Maybe some of you have already seen this on social media.
Maybe the container will be half empty. The rat will have consumed something.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. So you can see where the rat is now. Yeah, so this is a very simple picture, but it communicates a lot. Probably at the very beginning, the rat didn't really think so much beyond the container. So what really matters to the rat is about what is there, the food, and I think it was time to enjoy because everything is there now. Why bother? Why move around? Why struggle? And you have it with you. But the end product, we see where the rat is. What is how can you describe the second picture? How is the scenario in the second picture? The second picture is, yeah. Yes, Pastor Felix?
Yeah, the rat is trapped inside.
Yeah, the rat is trapped inside. Yeah. So at the beginning, life was so cool, like no struggle, no moving around, no hassles of life, but he didn't know that it was being trapped. Yeah, and this is the beauty of having a bigger picture in whatever you are doing, so that we look beyond where we are. A few lessons from this. Think with the end in mind. This is the core of this lesson. That whatever we do, we need to have the end in mind. And the end in mind, we are thinking about probably what will be my contribution or what is my value to the society or to my environment. So I'm trying to visualize the bigger picture of so that I don't limit myself. There are many people we find that with that limitation, we end up being trapped in one way or another because the bigger picture missed along the way. So think with the end in mind, and then take note of short-term pleasures, yeah, that can lead to long-term traps, like what has happened to that to that rat. Sometimes if things are smooth, easy, and comfortable, it might be leading somewhere. We need to keep on reevaluating our circumstances and our environment so that we certain where are we headed and are we on track, and are there instances that we might get trapped without our knowledge. And then the other factor is instant gratification versus delayed gratification. There's a story of a goose and a farmer. There's a farmer who was praying for some resources. And one day he found that his goose, the goose is a nibata. He found that the goose had laid a golden egg. And every day it could lay one golden egg. So one day he wondered, why should I keep on waiting for one egg a day? Probably I can just take the initiative, slaughter this thing and open and remove all the eggs at once. And that is what he did. You can take a guess what happened. That was the last time he got an egg from that goose. So he lost the producer and he lost the product. And that is the power or the effect of instant gratification. I want it and I want it all and I want it now. So I think we need to look at that also. There are times we need to delay some gratifications so that they can come back to us in a better form. Sometimes all you can see is not all there is. Apply triple loop learning. Remember triple loop learning? We want to go beyond the surface, not just what we are doing, how we are doing, but we also want to get why. Why are we engaging in this? And then think beyond self. I think the rat was like, I don't need anybody. I have food, I have everything. Why should I bother with the people? And it thought about self. Maybe if it had called another rat, they would have helped each other to get out of the trap. But now it's the only one down there, and there is no way it can get out. Healthy relationship, and this was the essence of the retreat. We were talking about networking, collaborating, be able to advance together. But the context of this this scenario or this illustration is the number 7. Those who have seen it on the social media, this is the message that they are conveying, that single income and single identity crisis, where many people are trapped maybe into a single income, maybe into unemployment without really knowing that what happens at the end of it all. But the moment you want to get out, you realize there's no way you can get out. Maybe there are so many loans around you. There are so many other factors. You try to walk, we are told, no, you can't walk. We need you back. Unless you pay our money, we can't be able to free you. So I think the bigger picture looking is very important. And that's the essence of the power of vision. Basically, when you're talking about a vision, we are looking at what is my value and what is my contribution to my environment. Vision is outward looking, not inward looking. I'm looking at what I have and what I can make it a factor in my contribution. There's a story, I think I've shared this story of the 3 bricklayers. 3 bricklayers, I don't know if I shared with you, which illustrate the power of vision. So there were 3 bricklayers. One of them was asked, what are you doing? He said, I am a bricklayer. What I'm doing, just working hard, laying bricks to feed my family. The second one, he said, I am a builder. I'm building a wall. The third one said, I am a cathedral builder. I am building a great cathedral to the Almighty God. Among the 3, who do you feel is motivated to undertake his work? I can guess.
The third one.
The third one. Because of what? Because of the picture that he can visualize. So it's not, so it's not just about I'm working to get something on my table, but for this third bricklayer, it was about what he could visualize. So as he puts the bricks together, what was his in mind? What was in his mind? It is the cathedral. The cathedral. And I think this is a very important lesson to us as leaders and to the people that we are leading, so that we are able to help them to visualize that the vision clearly. You remember Reverend Oscar said vision leaks. So we need to keep on recasting and reminding our people, why are we engaging on this? So that they don't reduce it just to a means of earning, just building a wall, but they keep on retaining the bigger picture. Now, let's look at a few definition of leadership, of vision. Vision, you can describe it as the desired end state, the end in mind, the end state. What is the end in mind? From the builder, the story of the builder, the end in mind was a cathedral. Other definition is being able to see the end results and how your work contributes to that end result. A future that informs and energizes the present, and a clear, strong, inspirational, long-term desired change. A mental picture of the results you want to achieve, or a picture of the future that influences all decisions now, either personal, family, spiritual, physical, well-being, and resources, and all the relationships. Also a picture of the end that influences our decisions today, that influences how we utilize our resources, how we plan our life. So in other words, it guides what we are doing presently. Examples of vision, and I want you to look at these examples and tell me from the examples here what vision statement comes out as maybe among the best or among well articulated vision statements. Oxfam vision statement: a just world without poverty. That's Oxfam. Then Facebook: connect with friends and the world around you on Facebook. And then we have American, Feeding America, a hunger-free America. Microsoft, a computer on every desk and in every home. Human Rights Campaign, equality for everyone. Habitat for Humanity, a world where everyone has a decent place to live. The cathedral, this is the All Saints Cathedral, a Christ-centered cathedral. And then my favorite, the land of milk and honey. So which one gives you an inspiring vision statement, something that you want to identify with among these examples of vision statement? Yeah, which one feels like, if you are to choose to participate in, which one would you feel like, wow, this really is inspirational? It adds value to humanity. It's something that you may want to be part and parcel of.
Human Rights Campaign.
Human Rights Campaign, equality for everyone. Thank you, Lillian. One more.
I would also buy that one, Human Rights Campaign.
Equality for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, I would go also with that one, but also Habitat for Human, of Humanity, a world where everyone has a decent place to live.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Thank you.
I'd also go for Human Rights Campaign and a just world without poverty.
Thank you, Gerald. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome.
So what is our vision statement, Global Leadership Network? Global Leadership Network, our vision statement. I left that one deliberately. I didn't want to put it among these ones so that we can try and recall from our notebooks. You have your notebook with you?
I think it's think global, lead local, transform the world.
Thank you, Jared.
Generational thinker. Purpose-centered, vision-driven leader in every home, organization or country.
Yeah. So think global, lead local, transform the world is our slogan. And our vision is to build leaders who are generational thinkers, purpose-centered, vision-driven in every home, in every organization, and in every country. So some attributes of a vision which we'll look at, this is something that you really can't achieve in one generation. It's continuous. So building generational thinkers, this will be something that will be done by Kiarie, and Kiarie will pass on to someone else, and someone else will pass on to someone else. It will be a continuous, our continuous cycle. It's about a relay. Yeah. So a vision statement is something that will keep on. It's continuous, something beyond yourself. And I think Reverend mentioned this when he was talking about being constructive. Yeah, something that lives beyond you. Yeah. So I think I don't know if you have your own vision statements. Yeah. So that's something that you need to think about, yeah, as a person. What is your vision statement, and how do you articulate it? So that's the discussion that we may want to have as we continue with this this lesson. Remember the children of Israel when they were leaving Egypt, when they were leaving Egypt, a picture was painted in their mind clearly, and that motivated them. to come out of a place where they had lived for over 400 years, more than 400 years. So you really had to have a compelling reason to make these people start the journey. And the picture that was painted in their mind was a land of their own, flowing with milk and honey. That is inspiring. Even me, I will join in and say, I am ready to go. Yeah. So those are some of the attributes that we're going to look at as we continue with the discussion, as far as a compelling, defining a vision is concerned. So from the definition of leadership, we took quite a lot of definitions of leadership in the last lesson. But this one definition by Professor Dr. Mohammed talks about leadership being a function of, one, self-awareness, what we have been dealing with, knowing yourself. And secondly, is having a vision. And this is what we're talking about. So once you're able to have an in-depth self-awareness, then you can be able to craft a vision based on what you have identified in you as a resource and what you feel are the needs, are the gaps, are the opportunities that you can be able to converge your potential within your environment. And then you now bring that out as a vision. Then you communicate and you build a trust among the team that will help you to actualize that vision. And as you tap into your potential and the potential of the people around you. So you see, I used this example of defining vision, defining leadership, just to show how important vision casting and vision capturing is important. It's part and parcel of any discussion of leadership. Okay. So vision encompasses thinking, planning the future with a lot of imagination, with a lot of hindsight. Hindsight means you needn't have to go back at times. And insight, you really need to be very detailed, get into the details. And foresight, you need to look forward. So there's a lot of thinking. I think one of the most important stage of vision casting is thinking. Yeah, the most important stage of vision casting is vision thinking. And we're talking about quality thinking time, quality reflection time. That is one of the area that I know a majority of people we miss it out because of obviously a lot of engagements and a lot of issues that we have to address. But if we really love ourselves, I think we really need to create that special time to allow ourselves to get deeper into us and deeper into God, so that we can be able to clearly connect with our vision. So thinking, planning, imagination, sometimes you have to just be imaginative, because this is something that is in the future. And hindsight, sometimes you need to go back for you to move forward. See what are the dots of your life connecting to. If you join the dots of your life, maybe from childhood, from adult, from your school life, what one theme can you point out? Those are some of the indicators that can help us in vision casting. So vision sets a leader free from the limitation of what the eyes can see, and it allows us as a leader to have the liberty of imagining with the heart, conceiving, getting into the mind of the heart. So a vision is a leader's radar and compass. It guides and leads a leader. And heart of leadership. Vision is the heart of leadership. Okay. So vision leads the leader. It paints the target and direction. So you capture it, and then it becomes your leader. It becomes your leader. It guides you in terms of resources, in terms of relationships, in terms of engagements, in terms of time management. When Mary became pregnant, she had to connect with someone that was in a similar state with her, someone that could be able to relate with whatever she was going through. So when you capture vision, it also aligns you. It aligns you in terms of relationships, in terms of networks. So it also sparks passion within and draws the leader forward. Someone or a leader who leads with the guidance of a vision, they are so passionate. So a vision ignites passion in us. It ignites passion in us. It awakens the inner person. And you know that when the inner person is awake, then the whole person becomes awake. You become alive again. You become re-energized again. You feel like there's meaning for life again. Yeah, so this is really important. And it's a magnet that attracts partners and resources. People do not give to people, they give to something. They give to something meaningful. They give to something compelling, something that is clear, something that adds value. Yeah, so when you capture a vision that brings value and meaning to people, then resources may not become a challenge. So vision is the source of hope and passion in life. And a leader without a vision is a tragedy. Such leaders, they have no foresight. They have no foresight, and such leaders instill no hope, either in themselves and others. So one of the crises we have in leadership is the crisis of visionary leadership. Being able to tell people or to guide people to something that is more inspiring. As a country, we are anchored on Vision 2030. Yeah, and our resources are anchored towards that. And most of the developments that we have made are because of that clarity of having a country's vision. And I think this is something that has really transformed this country. This is the same thing to an individual. The moment you capture vision, you realize, wow, you can be able to track your progress, you can be able to mobilize your resources quite well, and you're able to live a more meaningful life. So there are some key terms about vision casting. I'll not dwell so much on this because they are in the manual on page 61, so you can check this on your manual. Vision statement, we're talking about big picture of what is to be achieved. And then you need to have a mission statement. This is more of a general statement of how the vision will be achieved. And then a purpose statement, general statement of why the vision ought to be achieved or to be pursued. Then you need goals, the milestones. This will help you to be able to measure your progress. For Global Leadership Network, we are targeting, one of the goals is to have trained 500,000 leaders by the year 2030. That's a goal in the bigger vision of equipping generational thinkers, purpose-centered and vision-driven leaders. So one of the goals is 2030, and that is a milestone. We have broken it into yearly goals. So every year there's a target. And as we continue, we're able to measure where are we, how are we progressing, what is our strategy towards that. So that's the goals will help you to be able to track your progress. And then the objectives, they provide specific milestones with specific timelines. Then also have strategies, one or more ways, the approaches. Like for us, as we train more leaders, we are entrusting those leaders to train others. So this will help us to have a ripple effect and compound our progress, and also in terms of achieving the bigger picture. Then action plan, just some specific implementation plans, and then the core values. So these ones I think you can read through in your manual so that we're able to move on. So every vision should meet the following criteria. Every vision should meet the following criteria. This is on page 61. So remember, Reverend Oscar talked about clarity. I'll keep on referring to our retreat statements. So he talked about clarity. So every vision should be specific and also measurable. What specifically will be achieved and how will milestone be tracked in terms of the goals? And then suitable, does it fit as a solution to a given problem? Yeah. And then thirdly, feasible, is it possible to achieve? And then lastly, number 4, commitment. Can people be inspired to commit themselves? Can it make people run? Can it make people feel motivated, feel compelled to be part and parcel of that vision? And then lastly, ownership. Does it inspire others to own, to engage, to commit? Yeah, so those are some of the criteria that you need to look at as you craft your own vision statement. Okay, so we look at, in this lesson, we normally look at the difference between ambition versus vision. Ambition versus vision. Just to create that clarity so that we are clear in terms of what is driving us. If we look at the leaders around us, we can attest and tell what is driving them. Are they being driven by private ambition, or are they being driven by a vision that is there for the well-being of humanity? So we look at these differences, and then we'll just be able to focus more on the issues of vision casting. So what is ambition? Some definition of ambition is the degree or desire inside you to achieve something. And ambition is not bad. Ambition is not bad, it's good. But as we graduate, we are able to probably have now a bigger picture from self to more of something that is more looking on the outward, that rather than being so much on the inward. And then vision has to be that ambition or higher for a visionary leader. It's beyond self-focused desire. So vision will now shift us from what I want to have to what I want to achieve, or what I want to offer. Okay, and then ambition is a strong desire to do or achieve something, but a vision is the ability to think about or plan the future with some imagination, or also with wisdom. So I think the key factor here is the issue of self-focus versus outward focus. Yeah, and some of the other differences, like ambition-driven leader, they can be driven by self-centered desire, and we are using the word "can be" for its glory and also self-gratification. Yeah, but for vision-driven leader, they are driven by a purpose for the good of mankind. Ambition-driven leader can be limited to the sense or ability of sight. They can be limited to what they can see, sight function. But for a vision-driven leader, it's more of what the heart can conceive. It's more of the imagination. It's beyond the physical sight. Ambition-driven leader can be driven by competitive mindset, desire to distinguish oneself from other people. But on the contrary, vision-driven leader, they are driven by complementary mindset. It's more about complementary rather than being competitive. It's more about collaborating, desire to improve mankind and contribute to society, well-being together. Okay? Ambition-driven leader can be inclined to naturalism, the world, nothing supernatural. But for the vision-driven leader, they are driven by faith or divine guidance, supernatural view. There's something beyond natural. Yeah? Ambition-driven leaders can be driven by excessive desire for distinction, preferment, honor, superiority, political power, popularity, or even fame. But for a visionary leader, they are driven by desire for significance, value, legacy, and impact. I think these are very important distinction between these two. And it helps us also to gauge where we are and what is driving us, so that we're able to align ourselves properly in terms of vision-driven leaders, not just ambition-driven leaders. Ambition-driven leaders can be measured by personal achievement of gratification, whereas for the vision-driven leaders, they measure their leadership by impact, by legacy, by how fulfilled they are. Yeah. For ambition-driven leader can be self-focused or self-centered. They can be intrinsically driven or probably possession-driven. They can also abuse or devalue people to be able to achieve their ambition. So at all cost, you achieve or they achieve their ambition at all cost. If it causes them or it forces them to abuse people, to devalue people, they can go to that extent. And then they can be superficial. They are driven by complexity and also some element of pretense or maybe hypocrisy. But for vision-driven leaders, they are either focused, outward focused. They are intrinsically driven or not intrinsically. The motivation is from within. They are servant and they value humanity. They don't devalue humanity, but they value humanity. They add value to humanity. They are genuine, driven by simplicity and authenticity. I think that is also very important. So when you capture a vision, in essence, it means we are simplifying life, because you realize now it's not about the too many things I'm doing, but it is maybe the few things I'm doing and the impact and the legacy and the fulfillment that I'm able to achieve from whatever I'm engaging in. Okay, so I think I'm sure maybe it's getting clearer in terms of ambition-driven leader and vision-driven leader. Maybe I can take a comment or two from where we are now. What is coming out clear in this discussion that we have had in this first part, either from the beginning or from where we are? You can share one comment as we move on, and I will request, I think, let me just make it open. What can be your takeaway to where we are now from the discussion that we have had? What can be your takeaway? What more additional comment can you share with us as a team? Yeah, I can let it open, or I can just allow someone to mention. Yeah, I can see Eda, you have unmuted. Please share your comments.
The ambition leader driven, I've said this person is self-focused, but when you go to someone who has a vision, he focuses on other people.
Yeah, thank you, Eda, for that comment. Yeah, so Pastor Felix, you have a comment?
Yeah, the focus of a vision-driven leader, he's more focused.
Mm-hmm.
He's more trustworthy than the vision-driven leader.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Okay, so thank you.
I can also maybe chip in and say that a vision is meant for people.
Mm-hmm.
And can never be mixed with ambition, because ambition is more or less of self,
yeah,
than that which is meant to go to the people.
Yeah.
So vision and ambition cannot be mixed.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's more of a progressive. As we continue, maybe you look at your life. At some point, it was all about you. It was all about what you're doing for yourself. But as you continue, I think at some point you realize, wow, I need to now focus more on what I'm doing in terms of my contribution. And if you remember the phases of leadership development, from the formation, from leading, and from giving back, So as you get to the giving back stage, that is really, really outward looking. But it's more of a progressive. You can't delink this. There are people who start giving, or there are people who are outward focused even at a very early stage in life. So they are more integrated. But as we said, vision comes out very clear in terms of contribution and also in terms of being outward looking. So thank you, and Reverend Kahindi, karibu sana, welcome on board. Yeah, so
Asante sana.
Karibu sana. Today, my camera is off because we're having a blackout, so I'm just managing, and I'm hoping I'll be able to move to the very end with the power that I'm having on my laptop. So let's move on. The second part. The second part of the power of vision in leadership. So in this second part, there are some key fundamental responsibilities of a leader in vision casting. What are my responsibilities as a leader when it comes to vision casting? Fundamental or basic, the basic responsibilities. And I think these ones are on page 64. So number one, it's vision crafting the vision. Yeah, crafting a vision, and that comes from, remember what Reverend Oscar mentioned. You need to look, you need to listen. Yeah, but here we're talking about being explorative. You need to explore, remaining open, prioritizing the bigger picture. You need to be very boldness, being adventurous, speaking out, also testing assumptions, seeking counsel, or exploring implications. Yeah, so a lot of exploration, a lot of downtime. Downtime, those are personal time, personal moments. Yeah, the downtime where you seem not to be there, but you are with yourself. So vision, crafting, and then I'll get into more details of that as we continue. And then building alignment, that is the second fundamental responsibility. And here it's the issue of clarity. This is what we also discussed during the retreat. Explaining rationale, structuring message, then dialogue. A lot of dialogue is required, exchanging perspectives, and then there are issues of being receptive, inspiration, being expressive, and also being encouraging. So building alignment is more of how clear your vision is and how you're able to engage in dialogue, especially with a trusted team that is there to back you or to help you bring out the message clearly. And sometimes it's also good to test whatever you are bringing up or you are crafting with a few friends and see how they perceive it. Inspiration, also being encouraging. And then the last role is also the issue of championing execution. You are the catalyst of your vision. You are the catalyst of your vision. A vision always have one believer at the beginning. Every vision has one believer at the beginning. And unless you believe in your vision, it's very hard to convince other people to buy into your vision. Unless you buy into it and you embody it, you embed it into your heart, you embed it into you inscribe it. Let me use that word. You inscribe it in you, then it becomes very hard to champion. So the other role is championing execution. You are the catalyst, so you need to build momentum. You also need to have structure, providing a plan, analyzing in depth, also feedback, addressing problems, and offering praise to the team where possible. So these are some of the roles, fundamental. There are other roles, but these are like the base of vision casting. So you're talking about crafting a vision, it's a role of a leader, then building alignment, and also taking the lead in terms of championing the vision. So in a brief, if we look at each and every one of them, crafting, we are talking about creating, designing, or even shaping a vision. And it requires a lot of imagination, a lot of creativity, a lot of reflection, open mind, being very exploring, and also thinking outside the box, thinking beyond probably even the available resources, thinking beyond available resources, thinking time, reflection time. Yeah, Helen Keller said, what I'm looking for is not out there, it is in me. Yeah. And in life, this is the reality of life. In most cases, whatever we are looking for, it's not away from us, it is in us. So what we need is just what we have put up here, like taking that time to be able to, being in a session that triggers us to refocus maybe from so much outward looking into so much of the inward looking, and questioning ourselves in a more sober environment, in a more knowledgeable way, until we are able to ignite something, that light that is in us. Okay, so some of the stages is you start with a lot of brainstorming, meditation, thinking time, prayer time. Then you need to write it down. In Oscar's language, you said you need to describe it. Yeah, the act of writing reinforces commitment. As you capture down, you reinforce the commitment, and you also have a reference point. Then organize your vision into achievable phases. Ensure clarity in your objectives and must be actionable, attractive, and inspiring. And then the fourth stage, define time frame. Yeah, in terms of the milestone, the goals, and also the objectives. And then link to projected reality. So a vision must lead to reality. It may not be fulfilled in whole, but you will be realizing as you fulfill the stages or the phases of your vision. Then vision requires a lot of patience. I said every vision has one believer at the beginning. Yeah, so as you sell it out, you need to have a lot of patience. I need to have a lot of patience, perseverance, positivity. Yeah, and remember that though it tarries, wait for it. I think I've shared our experience that when we started training Global Leadership Network Masterclasses, the first cohort had 3 people. It had 3 people. We were not structured. We were here and there. We were just juggling things. And out of 3, 2 dropped along the way. So we were left, I was left with 1. And that one was my wife, so she had no choice. She had to stick around. Yeah, so, but we still had to believe that it will be done. And we still had to be resilient. We still had to be patient. But I think the most important thing was the lessons that we were learning. That is what kept us going. Because we kept on asking ourselves, what are the lessons? Are we communicating clearly? What are we missing out? And that helps us to keep on restructuring and also maybe organizing and also sharing our passion and our vision. The method that worked so well is one-on-one sharing. Yeah, so remember this, and as you work through, you can follow through some of these steps and see how you're able to capture your vision in a more clear form as we move.
Please.
Yes, Pastor Felix?
Yeah, I'm wondering, is there an instance where you find that the vision has become maybe irrelevant and you decide to drop it? Is there possibility that a vision can be dropped?
Okay, a possibility of a vision being dropped. Let me take a comment from just one person.
I think there is a possibility if there is no clarity in it.
Mm-hmm. And maybe, Pastor Felix, being dropped, that means the owner dropping it, or the team?
The owner. Maybe find relevant along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one most important concept about the vision casting or a vision itself, a vision can evolve, it can grow. Yeah, it can evolve with time. And also the strategies can change. The strategies can change. But you may realize, we said this is a long-term view. It's a long-term view. You may change the route, you may change the team. Even the owner can pass to the next leader, but both of them might still be focused on what the originator had in mind. Yeah. So what really changes quite often in vision are the strategies, because some of the strategies that worked maybe a few years ago, you realize, wow, these strategies cannot work. But we are still focusing on equipping leaders who are generational thinker, who are purpose-centered, who are vision-driven. In every home, in every organization, and in every country. So whoever comes on board will adopt different strategies, but will all be focusing on the same concept or the same end, desired end. So I think that is also very important when you're casting the vision, to make sure that the vision casting is well done, because it can be dropped again if the vision casting was not done quite well, and it did take care of some attributes of a vision that we have discussed about. So you might realize maybe with the time, my vision was not adequate, was not adequately crafted. That can also be a possibility of a vision being dropped. But if it's crafted well, you realize the other components can keep on changing, but you still remain focused on the same vision. And also it can be improved with the time. Okay, so I don't know if we have addressed your question to a certain extent. Okay, so let's move on. Trying to rush a bit because of my power, so just understand. Building alignment, I think we have talked about this. The act of gaining buy-in for your vision, allowing people now to subscribe to your vision, and it is critical in moving from imagination to reality. So effective leaders make sure that everyone understands what they are supposed to do and why. So that's alignment. Alignment, and alignment has many angles. You may help people to align to the bigger vision of the organization, but at the same time, also tapping into their resources, aligning people properly according to their capacity and potential. Championing execution without a champion who is a catalyst. A leader is a catalyst to create an environment of support. The execution of the vision, people may become disengaged, resentful, or lack any fulfillment beyond personal gain. I think we need to watch out this as leaders, so that we keep on rerouting people back to the bigger picture. There's a tendency of people trying to reduce their engagement into the personal gain. Personal gain is important, but we need to make sure that they don't lose in terms of the bigger picture of the vision. So when a leader champions execution, you must make sure that priority is placed on developing strategies which are aligned to fulfillment of the vision, and focus is maintained. Very important, focus is maintained. I think that is the other critical role of a leader, ensuring that we are on track, and secondly, we are still focused. We're not being drifted from the main goal. So leaders champion executions. Championing execution needs to genuinely listen to other people and make sure that inputs and ideas are seriously taken. I think that is the aspect of continual improvement. So there will always be new input. Sometimes you also need to listen to some of the strategies that are coming on board so that you can align properly. And then feedback, very important. Feedback is a tool of involvement and engagement. This is very, very important. So if you want people to be more engaged, to be more involved, then create a platform where people are able to offer feedback. And the feedback is well taken and incorporated where necessary. So giving positive feedback can be reactive, but giving encouragement is proactive. This is also from the angle of a leader to the team. Yeah. So the leader who are able to use praise or encouragement to genuinely transform their groups will actually experience a deeper, heartfelt appreciation for the people that they are leading. So feedback is very important during execution. The last part that we look at in this vision casting, there are some leadership principles on vision casting. And these ones are on which page? Vision principles, leadership principles on vision.
Page 66.
Page 66. So let's go through this. Vision energizes the mind, will, and emotion. Basically, we are saying, embody the vision. Let it be inscribed. I'm happy that we had that session. It has really helped me to put this into context from the retreat. So embody the vision. Be consumed with the vision. That will make you feel energized and will make you feel that you are part and parcel of whatever you are selling out. The second principle is that vision gives hope. Without vision, sight has no hope. And the only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. So lack of visionary leadership is a drawback in society. It's a source of hopelessness, insecurity, poor self-concept, and a lot of many other vices that are within the society. So vision gives hope. It gives hope. You are able to visualize the good futuristic picture that helps us to keep on moving towards the end in mind. And without vision, people perish. This is what the Bible talks about. Without vision, the people perish. So where there is no vision, you cannot restrain people, and also you cannot restrain your own resources. Okay, and then the other leadership principle on vision. Vision is a source of inspiration and motivation. A vision inspires and motivates the pioneer and the people that are championing that vision. It's a source of value. When you capture a vision, it becomes more valuable. You have something to contribute, and also you feel you have a place in the world, in society. So vision will always help or uplift others by adding value, yeah, and also in terms of bettering humanity. And nothing noble or not of any worth is achieved without a vision in mind. Number 6, vision gives foresight, that ability to go beyond sight. Yeah, and to be able to see far more than the sight can be able to see. Vision attracts cooperation. It also attracts collaboration. When you capture vision, you realize people will want to engage with you and probably collaborate with you. And a vision makes activities meaningful. It's not about activities in life. It's about the meaning. It's about the value. It's about the impact. It's about the end results. Without a vision, leadership becomes an endless strings of activities with little or no significance. We call it a rat race, or motion but no progress. So the moment a leader captures and aligns themselves to a vision, we are able to align whatever activity, whatever program into the vision. So it's not just about how the activities that we are engaging in, but it's about the progress that we are making towards achieving the vision. So leadership translates vision to reality. That's Warren Bennis. He said leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. So leadership is not about title, but that ability for a leader to translate that vision into reality. Then number 12, vision leads the leader. That's a principle. Vision leads the leader. So vision paints the target and draws the leader towards the target. So those are some of the very important principles of leadership. There are some implications of a vision. Vision will always contrast present reality with future expectation. We are talking about a future that will contrast where you are. A land of our own flowing with milk and honey, and yet we are in slavery. We are in a land that belongs to another party. So this is a contradiction. And I think we should be comfortable when you are casting a vision to have some contradiction, because this is a future. This is something that you're imagining. So that element will always be there, but it's right to have it. The size of your dreams must always exceed the current capacity to achieve them. If your dreams do not scare you, they are not big enough. That is L.M. Johnson. Never limit your vision based on your current resources. The other implication of vision, when you capture vision, it confronts a sense of comfort. It confronts a sense of comfort. Yeah, because we are starting to move towards a destination that it's uncertain. So a vision does not comfort. Actually, it disrupts comfort, shrinks the comfort zone, does not lead to a path of least resistance, but it also challenges our comfort and resistance. Thirdly, vision conceives new opportunities. This is very important. There are opportunities that can only be seen through the eyes of a vision. So vision is the art of seeing what is invisible to others. That's very important. Yeah. So opportunities everywhere. What you require is to develop the vision to see the opportunities. That is Robin Sharma. Number 4, vision connects to resources. I think I've talked about this. Yeah, resources will follow a vision. People join because of great vision. People leave because of poor leadership or lack of vision. Then lastly, the last implication, vision will concentrate and focus energy, time, and resources. It will help you. Vision helps a leader to be able to concentrate, also to focus the energy, time, and resources. And I think I've tested this when it comes to Global Leadership Network. When we focus on this, we're able to focus our energy more constructively. And it also helps us to have more progress because your energy is well concentrated, your time and your resources. So without vision, life is all about activities, and our leaders driven by purpose and vision invest their time, energy, and resources in a creative, focused thinking, and they live a positive life. So a leader has the vision and conviction that a dream can be achieved, and he inspires the power and the energy to get it done. So some of this implication, I think we need time just to reflect on this, think through, and appreciate them when they appear in your vision casting. Appreciate them and know that it's normal. Sometimes to feel like you're getting out of the comfort zone. Sometimes to feel like you're going too much. Not that you're going too much, but you're dreaming or you are visioning something that is beyond the current reality. 6 enablers of vision, I'll just mention this. One enabler of a vision is to remain focused. So focus. Leaders maintain a point of concentration and attention. Focus on little advancement with consistency. Vision ensures that we keep our eyes on mark. 2, patience. I've mentioned that. It will unfold step by step. As we see the bigger picture, then we'll realize that the steps will keep on unfolding one by one. And I think we also need to appreciate the power of process, walking with the process. Faith, faith keeps hope alive, and a vision equals faith. This is something you have conceptualized through your heart. So it's more about faith. So faith is the light that will be able to guide the leader through the darkness. Then resilience, elasticity, the comeback power, bouncing back ability. This is the most important enabler in vision casting. Because we'll encounter this, we'll be able to get up and down, but vision demands that endurance. It's not those who are swift, but those who endure to the end who succeed. And then lastly, positivity, keep a positive mind. And lastly, love. Leadership is influence generated by passion, motivated by vision, driven by authentic love and compassion for humanity. I think I'll want to pause there. I'll want to pause here. You can see I'm running out of power, and I really wanted us to capture up to a certain level. So allow me to pause there. Allow me to pause there for today. And I don't know how many groups are on board today, so that we can briefly just engage on the projects. Even if it's just a comment from the team, we can discuss in about 10 minutes and then we stop. Okay, I'll conclude this in the next session as we move on. So, and if we can have the groups just to update us, have you been able to meet? Have you been able to discuss, to have a session? Maybe I'll start with Mr. Mwangi. You can introduce us to your team, or if you already have a group leader, you can let the group leader take the opportunity to introduce the team and maybe share 1 or 2 comments.
Yes, our team leader is Lillian. She can take over. Lillian? Lillian? I don't know whether she can get me.
Yeah, hello? I can see Lillian is on.
Yeah, she's our team leader.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know whether she's, she can unmute and proceed.
Okay, Lillian, are you there? Okay, maybe Mr. Mwangi, if there is any comments you can share as we wait for her in case she will be able to get back to us. If there's any comment you can share, just the update, please feel free to share.
Okay. We are in a group of 3. That is Lillian, Mwende, and Ichaba.
Okay.
Yeah, we are 3. And we had a discussion at some length, and we had agreed to have a youth mentorship and empowerment development program, focusing on the school leavers who, due to lack of a job or employment for that matter, they engage in other social vices which later destroy their life. So our main idea is to engage them, to put them on course, mentor them, And those who have skills, we are able to guide them and push them. There are those in drugs or other substance abuse, for that matter. We also indicated that we would have a program for them so that they can get out of where they are and then incorporate them with other youth for better development in their lives. Those who have given up in life, we resuscitate them back to life. That is basically what we had intended to do. We were working on the background as guided by the proposal guidelines. So we are still doing we are still sharing to come up with a better program and see how we shall pursue it on until the end of it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mwangi. Lillian, I can see now you're on board. Any comment in addition to what Mr. Mwangi has shared?
Yeah, I'm sorry for being away. Okay, to add on that, we'd say that since like looking at many youths right now, many have fallen to depression and all that due to lack of jobs, having these relationship issues and all such things. We wanted like we had planned about that youth mentorship and empowerment to be able to have the youths, like the youths who will understand themselves, who wanna know their worth in Christ. You know, by the time you get to realize who you are in Christ, you find that it's so difficult for anyone to intimidate you or something, because you do understand that your power, you do understand that you have a purpose and your purpose is driven by Christ and all that. So by mentoring them, they'll get to understand who they are in Christ, and they'll get to understand their purpose in this life, why God created them and all that. So we wanted the main thing was like for them to get to understand that, and for them to be inspired that they can do much better once they realize themselves.
Okay. Okay, so in your group, Lillian, you are with Mwangi and who else?
Ichamba.
Oh, Ishamba, Geoffrey.
Is Geoffrey Ishamba, eh?
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you for the update. And this for you and the other group, we encourage you to make sure that you are very specific. Yeah, be very specific. Let your topic not be very broad, but specifically focus on a very specific area. I know mentorship is a broad area, so you need to keep on narrowing down and until you're able to clearly focus on a particular area. We're dealing with a generation that also requires a lot of creativity, a lot of strategies that will be able to, let me use the word, attract them. Yeah, so we need to think in their shoes as we think about this. So I think my comment for now, just make sure you keep on narrowing down. To engage a lot in terms of research. If there are other research that has been done on this area, please explore, read through, and see the value that you are adding. Maybe there are other proposals that have been done on the same area. So what are you going to add on top of what other researchers have already undertaken? Assume you are selling this proposal to a donor or to an agency that can fund. Can they be inspired to join you and support you? So those are some of the questions that we'll keep on asking ourselves as we continue. But for now, we just want you to focus on the topic so that it's clear, and also the objectives are clear. And clearly, we need to see that there is a problem that you are addressing. Okay, so for now, let's just focus on that. We'll keep on expounding as we continue. The second group, I think that's Eda, Pastor Felix, and Gerald. So whoever can mention where you are, the progress so far.
Yeah, this is Pastor Felix.
Yes, Pastor Felix. Karibu, please continue.
Unfortunately, we had problems connecting to one another, so we are not able to meet at the right time when we planned. Some of us could not be anywhere to be found, so we had problems connecting to one another.
Okay. At least now we are connected.
Yeah.
So I think you need to probably pick up from here because I know time will not be on our side. We'll need to be much, much faster on the progress, especially on the project. So are you now okay? You will be able now to connect from this point forward because I shared the contacts.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you have any challenge, feel free to also contact me so that if there's where we can come in and assist, we'll always be free and ready to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, but take the comments that I've shared with the other group so that you now start running with those comments as you work on your project proposal. Next
Gerard,
week, okay.
Gerard I think Gerard cannot add on that.
Okay, yes, Gerard, welcome. Kindly unmute Gerard.
Thank you. I think our challenge was meeting, mainly because there was a fourth member who is Pastor Abel from Zimbabwe. So I think he's in a place where he's in a different time zone with us. So getting to meet together at the same time was the tricky thing. And so I don't know whether he's on today.
Yeah, today is not on.
Hello.
Yeah, he's not on today.
Yeah, so my concern was what seemed to have dragged us was that waiting for the opportune moment to meet all together.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I don't know if Pastor Abel is still there or if he's not there. Do we get to progress as we are the three of us? We can start right away and then maybe he can pick on if he comes.
Yeah, I think let me engage with him.
Yeah.
And for you, just proceed the three of you. Yeah, but also share your communication. If you have a group which you have already added him, I'm sure he'll also be able to pick the updates as you post in the group. But keep moving. At least you have a quorum of 3. So that will allow you to have consensus as you discuss through. So I encourage you just to keep moving. So next week we'll also give you an opportunity to make your presentation. So we'll request you to share a day before, so that if you need to project, I'll put it on my screen, and then you can be able to go through as you take us through whatever you have done up to that point. Okay, so I think we'll pause there for today. And let's keep moving. Let's keep the spirit up. I think so far we're doing quite well. We are encouraged by the good progress, and we will be getting to lesson 12 next week. So we are almost getting to the tail end of the program. Normally towards the end is a bit intensive because you're doing your project, you're doing your book review, you're doing your manual review. So there's quite a lot. But from history, we have seen cohort 1, all to the other cohorts, they have made it. And I think this is a good history that we are able to make it to the very end. So if we tukifinya the paddle kidogo ya mafuta, just accelerate, and we'll be able to get there quite well. So thank you so much. God bless you. Enjoy the night. We'll share the photos from the retreat. We're creating a folder. We'll post them there so that you can